Alpha Romeo Mito, rear brake pads, not the most difficult job in the world, very similar to most other cars as well. Just start by removing the rotor. Brake wheel removed, and you see the caliper is held on by two retaining bolts, one top, one bottom. And you've got a brake pad wear indicator wire as well. Unplug that first so you don't cause any damage to the wiring. Make sure it's all nice and free. And right size spanner, in this case 13. And on some cars, this being one of them, you need to hold the slider bolt still. Remove the retainer. And the same again on the bottom bolt. And with both bolts removed, a little lever, just free the caliper up from the carrier, and everything is separated. Right, pull the caliper away completely, remove the old pads. They don't always come out this easily. Sometimes you have to fight them out. That's normally caused by corrosion in the carrier. If that is the case, then obviously take everything off, clean it all up, and make sure it's all nice and free moving before you put anything back together. Right, on this particular car, it actually comes with new anti-rattle springs. So just pop the old ones out, like so. Make sure there's no rust or debris or anything in their way. And just pop the new ones back on. They just clip into place like that. Right, before you can refit the new pads, because it's a rear caliper, it's got the handbrake mechanism and everything as part of it, so you can't just simply push the piston in as you would on a front brake. So you need a special tool, caliper wind back tool. Make sure you've got the right size fitment to if you have a look on the caliper, on the piston, there's two little notches and two notches on the tool. Make sure they fit properly. Once everything's all in place, just take up the free play and start winding the piston back. Now, if you watch the gator, you can actually see it's trying to fight it. The best thing to do in this case, just pull it back slightly. Lubrication. Don't ever use maintenance spray because it causes corrosion to the rubbers. I'm using silicone. Doesn't interfere with anything and makes everything move that much nicer. You watch the gator now, see it's not trying to twist or anything, there's no risk of any damage to it. Right, piston wound all the way back as far as it will. Don't force it because you can end up causing handbrake damage. Just release the tool and take it away. Now some new pads will come with a little locator on the back of them. This car hasn't got them. If that is the case, then obviously you need to line the groove up in the piston with the notch on the caliper, on the pad even. Slight bit of copper grease on there. It's just more to stop brake squeal and binding than anything else. Don't go overboard because obviously the last thing you want is grease on your brake pads. So new brake pad, make sure it's the right way around. Push it against the anti-rattle spring. Same on the top, and in it goes. On the outside pad, this is the one with the wear indicator on it. Same again, just a little bit of lubrication. It's not that critical on this car because you've got anti-squeal shims built into the anti-rattle springs, and you've also got anti-squeal shims on the back of the pads to prevent any metal to metal problems. So same again in the springs. Poke the wiring through the caliper and refit the caliper. Another good thing to point out now, just make sure that the sliders are nice and free moving. If they're not, then you're going to end up with problems further down the line. In this case they have no problems. So give it a tap, bolts back in. And just tighten them as they were before you took it off. Don't over tighten them, so there's a chance of stripping threads and damaging stuff. Same on the bottom. Job done. Reroute the cable exactly the same as it was when you removed it. Plug it in and secure onto the clip. Now, another good thing to point out before you operate the handbrake is that the foot brake needs to be activated to push. At the moment you've got this much free play in the caliper. Make sure that free play's gone before you try and activate the handbrake, otherwise you can end up with all sorts of problems further down the line again. That's it. And there we have it. Another job made to look simple. Thanks for tuning into our YouTube channel. Anything else you need to know, just look us up.